How you doing? We in a fight
But
right
there
now.
is
We
how
in
you
a public
guys.
fight,
Hello.
because
Hey, Scott.
he's sitting here enjoying his old cappuccino, knowing
Mm.
good and well I'm thirsty. You know,
Oh,
uh,
Sorry.
oh, so you too? That's
thank you.
that's how it's gonna be.
Thank you.
Now I
It's
see you.
two against
I
one.
see you, bro. I say I'm gonna remember that, bro.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now let's
Strength
get
in numbers. Strength in numbers, Scott.
what's up,
Guys,
man?
congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
Dude, thank you.
Ben, I wanted to start with you. I've been a huge fan of these books since I was a teenager, and there's so many amazing stories that you could have done. But bringing it into modern day and starting it ostensibly with a penis joke is a way to go about it. So how quickly did you settle on kind of the tone and the structure and all that kind of stuff for this
Oh
series?
man. Oh, that's so funny. Well, obviously I knew that there was already a rich legacy with this, book series, over 30 books and 30 years of books and hundreds of millions of copies sold worldwide and three films. And so I had to be asking myself, what can I bring new to this? And I felt like there were some things in the books that hadn't been depicted in on screen yet. And I felt TV would give us a chance. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that we'd have more real estate to actually not just give you a thriller with all the twists and turns that are the hallmarks of the James Patterson books, but also go deeper with the character stuff. And who is that character? Why is it different now? And I felt that it was really important that this Alex Cross has some physicality and some swagger to go with the genius intellect. And so I made it a point to give ourselves a showcase moment early in the season where you would get to see the full combination.
Mm.
And yeah, I have to be honest, when I wrote that scene and I described it on the page, I was really curious to see what was going to be the reaction of the folks, the executives that were going to be reading it. And we got a great reaction from that. They loved the idea of
Yeah.
introducing this Alex Cross. And I felt like it was that moment, like the lyric in the Jay-Z, like the Jay-Z, like, allow me to reintroduce myself.
Yeah.
And that was Alex Cross reintroducing himself to the world.
That was the
Yeah.
scene that made me want to do the show. It was the
That's why
first
I was
scene
about
I
to
read.
ask you. That was it? 10, 20 pages in.
Yeah. I
This is
mean,
me.
I feel like in an earlier version of the script, when the first script that I read, I feel like that was the first scene up.
It was.
And man, when I read that scene, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. But it's because it's the trick of the scene that people may get immediately or they may understand later. But contextually, what Ben did was he took Cross's genius, his elegance, his class, his street smarts, his book smarts, his raw edge, his swag. He put it all in one box and gave you every answer you needed to know about who
Mm.
this man is because he walks into a room and he imposes without imposing. You already lost by the time he opens the door. You're done. Right. So now that we know this about this person, cool, we're good. And that's everything in the same box. And I was like, wow, the way it was just sewn together so seamlessly for me, I understand how much more creative we are going to be. And then if this guy is this cool already, now you have to have a villain who's equally formidable. So how interesting are those characters going to be later
Hmm.
down the line? You know what I mean? But yeah, it's an awesome joke. It's an awesome way to start out a show, but it lays down so many little breadcrumbs
Hmm.
that you get to follow, and you're like, oh, that's why this makes sense later. I said, wow, this is some serious strategy going on right here. Okay, I see. I now picked up what you're putting down. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing.
I did think afterwards, after I watched the episode earlier, in my brain, I don't know why my brain did this, but I was like, I wonder how Morgan Freeman would have delivered that with his voice
Well,
and his
let me tell you
Yeah.
that
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
know. So agree.
Uh,
exactly.
but one of the things I love the two movies, the Morgan Freeman movies. I love them. I love the books as well. But it seems the TV, not just how it is now, but in terms of the story and the characters, like you said, like you both said, that it's kind of fit for TV. Did you see the big advantages in doing that? Because now, obviously, and I know you're going to do a season two, but the
Yeah.
depth and the richness of the characters is probably the first time that we've been able to see it because the Morgan Freeman versions, it's 2 hours. That's all they get. It's kind of in and out and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So.
Well, we just have, a longer runway. And like Ben was saying, the elements that are in the book that the fans love that they weren't able to expose with maybe some of the other earlier iterations. You have John Samson, who's a fan favorite. You get to live with Samson. You get to understand that back history between him and Cross. You get to see and live in, the familial space with Nana Mama and the kids. You get to see who crosses outside of the district, outside of the office. That to me is most interesting because I do wonder. I'm a big crime junkie. I like these thrillers. The most common theme that I can think about that I see with many of them is the fact that I only see one side of the detective's experience, which is on the hunt, on the chase, but I don't know who that person is. I know the case, but I don't necessarily know the detective.
That's a great way to put it.
And with this show, yes, you will experience the case because you're getting to know the detective and because you're getting to know the entire world. That to me is what keeps me hooked and keeps me going as an audience member. I'd watch the show if I wasn't on it. I'm just be honest with you, because of the structure. It completely deconstructs how we think about thrillers in a wholly awesome way.
And I think that character journey, I think that, and I'm a crime junkie as well, and I have to say, I'm probably watching a show like this regardless of whether or not they develop the characters, because it's a genre that I love. But as someone who's writing it, I feel like if you do have that real estate to go deeper, then you actually have a chance to create a character that folks invest into. So beyond showing up for the mystery, now they're having a lasting impression from watching a character. And in season 1, Alex Cross is struggling on a personal level. And that raises the stakes across the board, because now he's still hunting for a serial killer, but he's dealing with his own personal demons that he's got to figure out a way to overcome. And for me, when I see that makes me invest in those characters even more. And we always joke, we say, with this show, people are going to come for the mystery, but they're going to stay for the characters.
Yeah, because even when I think about like one of my favorite scenes is actually between Samson and Cross. It's a little bit later in the season. I mean, you've seen all 8 episodes. You might be able to guess which one. There's a moment or two between them. And, you got to earn the moment. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to earn the other moment. But to me, if I'm just, would we have ever had that had the formula been traditional? I don't think so. And those are the bits that make me go. And like I saw that moment, it literally made me jump out of my seat. I believe it was episode 7. I think I'm talking about you.
Episode 6.
Episode 6.
6, I think. Yeah, I think it's 6. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
I know.
I was testing you. I was testing you, and you passed. There you go.
Episode 6. I don't know. Also, I mean, my time's run out now, but I don't know whose jumper I prefer out of you two. They're just both spectacular jumpers. Now I'm thinking, it's getting older. This way it's pretty good. What
the best part about it is that we didn't coordinate this. This is how in sync we are.
This is called spending too much time together. Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna do it again soon? Again?
Yeah.
It's all good. Gents, I hope I get to speak to you for season 2, but thank you so much for your time today. I hope
it's been a pleasure.
Indeed.
Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!